What's up, everybody? So today we are doing an FPV tour with my friend Chris Fake right here of Mercedes-Benz Stadium and the art that's here. So a lot of people don't know that there are tons of art pieces at Mercedes-Benz Stadium that were constructed from artists here in the United States and even all over the world that are up, that some people you may just walk past, or there's art in areas of the stadium that you may not ever be in, like the owner's suite and stuff like that. So we're doing an FPV tour of that today, and also getting some other content and footage of those art pieces that they've put a lot of time and effort into. But I also want to show you and give you some insight into my friend Chris Fake and his process for doing FPV, and we're going to ask him a couple of questions so that you can learn more about FPV, and then we're going to show you how we did this today at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and do some cool stuff. I wanted you guys to see basically what an FPV setup could look like for indoors and somewhere where we have to have a lot of insurance and go through tons of forms or whatever. That it took us months to get this shoot on the schedule, but we wanted to show you guys a little bit about Chris's FPV setup and show you how we're going to do this today. So Chris, show me, like, if somebody's brand new to FPV and they maybe have seen like a DJI FPV drone or like the Avata or something like that, like what is the alternative to what you're using here with some of this stuff? Like, tell me a little bit more about what you're doing.
Okay, so we're still operating on a DJI transmission platform. So if you were using the Avata, you could actually kind of upgrade into this system. So what this is a Gep RC Synolog 30 or 35. I can't remember the exact size. They're kind of all similar. And this has got a DJI O3 transmission system in it. And then we're also rocking a GoPro 11. It's the Hero, the smaller version, just to save on some weight. And this is all carbon fiber, so it's a little rougher and tougher than what you would get with like the DJI Avata, which isn't a bad place to start. It's just a lot more.
Sure.
This is kind of made for, like, if I bust it up, which happens when you're flying FPV, I can fix this pretty fast.
Okay.
But it's still got prop guards, so you're getting some protection when you're flying around expensive art, people, cars, anything like that. Prop guards are a great idea. You kind of want to fly with that. But you're still using DJI goggles, just like what you'd use on the Avata. These are the V2s with a little bit upgraded patch antenna system on it, just for better penetration when you're in a building. Get through cement, brick, all that stuff. And you get a little bit better range when you're outdoors, just flying outside.
Like, what does this full setup cost for goggles, this other drone, like controller, GoPro, all that stuff?
Yeah, when you get into this, you're probably somewhere in the 15 to $2 grand range, depending on how many batteries you buy.
Sure. Transmission, so client can see what the drone is seeing
So
today.
transmission on this is we come out of the goggles and we go into a DJI RC3. It's whatever going with the Mavic Pro 3, all that line. That's their newer remote.
So you can basically send a signal from the O3 to that.
So we can't send the signal straight in. We just basically go from a USB-C down to this, and then this just goes HDMI into our monitor.
Perfect.
So, but then our client can see, they're not seeing what's coming out of the Hero, they're just seeing what's coming out of the O3, but it's a good really representation of what they're doing.
To the left, and then come back down for one voice. Yeah. Oh, I love that. That was it, dude. Our battery charger for the FPV drone died, so we have 3 batteries left for the rest of the day, so we will figure that out. What are some things that somebody, like, maybe like top 2-3 things that somebody jumping into FPV can, like, what's things they need to know?
You definitely are gonna need a couple months of practice before you go out and you're like trying to get work for a client. Like, I wouldn't get it and be like, oh, I'm booking a client next week because I'm gonna fly FPV. You're not gonna get, like, you might get that client, but you're not gonna get another client. Because it takes, there's definitely a learning curve to FPV and to doing it well. Especially when you want to get some really unique shots. So I say practice, practice, practice. Really, like, for me, the big thing was, like, I found really small gaps around my house, like, you know, a little between bushes, getting really low to the ground, in between branches on trees, and just figuring out paths around that, and just, you know, learning how to get smooth arcs around things, and then also get through a gap without hitting anything, and just kind of mentally planning out shot routes, because that just makes a huge difference, especially when you get in a building like this. It's like, it's open, but at the same time, like, if you are just like, it's open, I can fly anywhere, you're probably gonna crash. Like, if you don't have a plan before you get up in the air, you're probably gonna crash. So, like, make sure you have a flight plan before you get going, and just make sure you're taking good care of your gear, and it'll take care of you, I think, too.
Chris, thanks so much for today.
Yeah,
dude, I am stoked about all the stuff that we got. I have a lot to edit, but if you guys are in the Atlanta market, or Chris, you fly anywhere, if you're looking for an experienced, incredible FPV op, Pile of Pixels, Chris Fake, he's your guy. And you've done some other really cool stuff too. Tell me about other stuff you've done for what, like NASCAR?
Yeah, we've shot with NASCAR. You know, I DP too, so we're out there working all the time.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, we've done NASCAR, Chick-fil-A, you know, a lot of different companies all over Atlanta, just kind of like everybody, and then broader than that too. Yeah, but if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Pile of Pixels, or you can check out my website, pileofpixels.com.
Awesome.